I'm going to start recording. Hi everybody, my name is Priscilla and this is the intuitive reading for the Leo new moon, which is also the total eclipse of the sun. So what's going to happen essentially is I'm going to draw a card in a moment, and if anybody has any questions, we have a couple of people who've joined the call today, which is really lovely to see. Mel, who I know are here in Brisbane, and Lauren. I haven't actually had a chat with Lauren about where she's from, but we can figure that out later. So what we're going to do is I'll draw a card in a moment. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the energy of this eclipse. So this eclipse is about change, and sometimes it comes about in a really powerful way, which we don't expect. And so sure enough, my sun sign is in Leo. And I'm actually at 0 degrees, and so the new moon was also at the beginning of right on my birthday actually. And now that we're sort of right at the very end of Leo, it's sort of like been a huge month, and I'll be really honest and say it's been massive because I've been feeling a lot of shifts happening. And one of the things that's really, really challenging is that I've actually realized that there's a beautiful relationship that I wish to be a part of, but the other person that I wish to be with isn't genuinely ready. And today we had the conversation, and it's like the depth of that, the power of that just really hit home. And we've been sort of edging and skirting around it for the past month and a half, but it all really came home this morning. And when I got up, and it was, I think, whatever time it was in the US. So this is a powerful day. So you're going to feel it. Some people are going to feel it really deeply. Some people aren't going to feel it as deeply as what I am personally. But there's purpose to all of it as well. I'm going to share one little thing which I don't normally share, and that is that K-Pacha Lesha has done a fabulous video, a YouTube live, which is on his Facebook group, about if you know where the sun has landed in your natal chart, as in this eclipse, then it gives you the next theme for the next year and a half. And I watched it earlier this morning, and it was absolutely amazing. And so if you can check out where your natal chart is, that's really, really powerful. So the second Leo new moon, welcome. My God, it's 2 in 1 year, I think, is pretty full on. Two new moons is always a big time, but having 2 Leo new moons is pretty huge. So I'll try not to let the emotions come, but I think it's important that I do. I don't want to shove them down because it's important to release and let go. And I guess that's what this eclipse is also about. We're being brought to the surface, all the things that are our shadow. What do we not like? What do we not want to see? And stuff just starts to come to the surface, and it's a cathartic experience, and it's not particularly pleasant sometimes, but sometimes it's imperative and it's relevant. So enough being said about Leo new moons. Leo's about the identity, the self, that sort of, sparkly, shiny person that we like to present to the world. And so it's something that we all have, and some people have it in more abundance than others. So without further ado, I'm going to draw a card, and we're going to see what else comes first and what else comes to the surface, I should say, about what it is that how we can manage this dynamic, how we can manage this energy, because this eclipse effectively energetically lasts for 6 months. And of course the new moon energy lasts for 6 months as well. So if you wait for 6 months' time, you'll start to find out in the Leo full moon exactly what's been going on for you. A brilliant time to start again. So we've had two opportunities to start again in this Leo energy. Okay. I didn't expect to see this one, but I have to. It's sorrow. Yes. When I look at this card, and every time I read the instruction book that comes with it, the question was, why are you crying over the Buddha's death? And his head priest basically was saying to the other priests, I'm not dying over his death. I'm crying. Sorry, not dying. Gosh, there's a Freudian slip if there ever was one. I'm not crying over his death. I'm crying that I haven't reached enlightenment. And so this is a big one. This is about sorrow. This is letting things go. This is about letting the emotion move through you and not shoving it down. it is very easy to do that in this busy world of ours. And so the more we are able to sit with the pain in our body, sit with the sorrow, sit with the emotions as they're rising to the surface, the more powerful it is that it releases it from you so that you can move forward with a clean slate. And it's never an exactly clean slate, but it is definitely a slate that when you wipe off the old stuff and you clear off the old stuff and let the tears flow and the tears wash away the things that don't serve you, then you're actually able to see things with a fresh light. And I just saw the analogy then of what it's like after we've had really, really hot summers, and then finally we have a bit of rain and the dust gets washed off all of the leaves and the roads and the houses, and everything looks a bit fresher and a bit cleaner. And so what I'm sensing here is a strong time for us to, let the tears flow, let it move out of us, let the rain fall and wash away all the dusty crap so that everything can look fresh and new and clean again. And this is the power of it as well. If we don't let these emotions move through us, then we end up being so locked, we end up in pain. And Mel will fully appreciate this, being a psychosomatic therapist practitioner like myself. If we keep shoving the emotions down, they end up causing more pain and more damage. And we don't want that. We want everybody to be able to let it go. And as they let it go, feel free and feel safer and feel clear to let the new stuff come in so you can see things with a fresh outlook. So I'm just going to take off mute. Everybody's welcome to take off mute if you want, and I'll leave the card up here for the moment. So if you have anything you'd like to share, you're very welcome to unmute yourself and share. Welcome, Lauren.
Hi. So for me, the changes that I've been noticing through this really through the eclipse and everything, like it has definitely affected me deeply. I found that a lot of things from childhood have actually come up that I'm still working through to finally cut those cords and enable to move forward. I feel like a lot of things have just sort of, I've been a lot more sensitive as well. So I've been very, very, very sensitive to things that are on the news. And I've actually noticed that in the world in general, there's actually been a lot of turmoil is the best word that I can find for it. And I'm definitely feeling that as well. So I'm looking forward to managing that, and I also see it as an opportunity to really work through some stuff that I don't need anymore, and finally shift it for good.
Yeah, well done. It's such a big undertaking, isn't it? The path of self-inquiry and recognizing being such sensitive beings and what we feel in our bodies can be so challenging, and learning to some say allow it to move through you, especially if you do take it in, move it through you and move it out, which is where the power of the tears can come in. And the other side of that too is that it can be tempting to want to try and just let it flow around us. But some of us can't let it flow around us. We actually take it in, and we need to let that move through so it doesn't get stuck and doesn't stay there. And we don't take it on as our own as well. That's huge. Well, congratulations and well done, because that's such a big undertaking to do it consciously. I think that's something we all like to think we do it consciously, but there's times when we don't. So thank you for sharing, Lauren. That's really beautiful. So okay, right. So
can I just quickly share something?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it, yeah. Well.
Yeah, I can also relate to what Lauren is saying, but absolutely resonate with, well, one, the card, but two, when I heard the rain last night coming down, I was like, oh, like this cleansing is happening, and I feel like that is, like a really powerful segue, like for a rebirthing, but, the letting go and the washing away of the old. And me myself, like I've had a really powerful heart opening experience, letting go and going back, you know, like into the inner child and the mother wound, with my mother, and it was really, really powerful. And I can see that kind of also is so multifaceted too, you know, like when it comes into what Lauren said about what's happening in the world, and, you know, like the turmoil that is there, like there's this real turbulence, and yeah, I feel like by me doing that inner work, you know, like as a collective consciousness, it's raising that vibration, and, you know, like it's helping that to move through and to rebirth. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so beautiful, Mel. I'm just so touched that you've shared that, for both of you actually sharing where you're at, because this is a huge time for the collective as well, you know, and all we can do is look after ourselves. And the more we look after ourselves, the more we can then, if we shift ourselves, we shift the collective. But until we look after ourselves, the collective is going to stay in the same state, you know. And so it's a huge undertaking. So thank you so much for sharing. That's really beautiful. Really, really
Awesome.
Wow. Well, it's actually 11:12, so I love that. I'm just going to end the call now and say thank you very much to everybody for joining us. And so both of you beautiful women will be up live on this call, and I shall post this up on my website later today. So we'll do this again in a month's time at the next new moon, which will be the new moon in Virgo. I don't know the
Can
exact.
I just ask?
Yes, darling.
A quick question. The card deck that you, what's the name? Are they the Osho cards?
It's the Osho deck, yes. I use the Osho deck.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all right. Pleasure. Well, thank you very much for both of you joining. And we'll say adieu till next time, and we'll see who can come along and join us. Thank you very much, everyone. And see you all soon.
Thank you so much.